Hi, my name is Rachel. Welcome to my channel, Learning with Boys. Today I am hoping to give you a little motivation. I guess it would be March motivation. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, I'm a homeschool mom of 4 boys ages 9 to 19. Been homeschooling for over 13 years. And today I'm hoping just to share some thoughts to help motivate you through this school year. We're coming towards the end. We're coming in hard, prayerfully, but I do want to share some things that hopefully will help you. Some of them are going to be things, yes, I know that, but hopefully I will add some new thoughts in there that will encourage you. The first thing I would suggest for sure is if you don't have a spring break planned, because you will get done by a certain time, is take that break. It will help, even if it's like just a Thursday and Friday. But I would suggest a whole week because you know how time flies. But I know it's always helped us, even when my kids were younger. It might just be for my sanity. I usually get in the spring cleaning mood. I don't know about you all, but I start thinking of things that need to be done, but I do have school to do. So it's best for me just to take the break because I will be distracted with those thoughts until they're done. So, and when they were little, they could play outside. A lot of times they were big enough to help, even if it was just spray cleaning windows, or, you know, my boys, even 8, 10, could use the blower and blow off the driveway. Now they would be mowing, but usually they do that when Daddy's home. So just things like that. My oldest was very good even at that age of cleaning out the garage. I mean, even it would help me sometimes if I would say, okay, let's take all this out, and then I could work on something else while they're doing that, and then come in out and help them because they do need guidance. And usually I probably would want to go through something. So that always helped me. Now, last year they were teenagers and they were like pressure washing and cleaning the windows for me, while I was inside getting things done. So, and you may have a different reason for taking a break. You may already have it planned out for a vacation, and that's wonderful. But if you don't and you're just trying to push through, for your sake and for your kids' sake, take a break. We took one last week. It was not planned, but it all worked out, and I feel like we came back in Monday. Just like, oh, okay, we're ready for school again. Like I got some of the things that were on my mind that helped me just feel refreshed. And actually, my 9th grader helped me paint my bedroom. He helped me move all the furniture out, helped me get that done, and it was a good experience for him. He's really never, I mean, he's painted before, but never like fully painted a whole bedroom. So that was fun. So, but that would be my first suggestion. Now, maybe you're going through just more than the normal. I just want to make it through this year. Maybe you need a longer break. Maybe it's for some health reasons. Maybe it's for health reasons for a parent or for a family or even for a child. Go ahead and take those breaks. I remember 10 to 12 years ago, I read some testimonies from some parents who had to take a year off. And really all they did that year was read. They read to their kids, or they gave their kids books to read. And it's funny now that I think about that so much because I think that's when reading became important to me. Taking that time to read with your children and giving them a desire to learn. But I know that was not an easy decision for those families, but they came out of it stronger. They felt like they had a good relationship, and I don't really think your kids are going to get far behind because they're resilient, for one thing. We know that kids are resilient. But I almost feel like the older a child is, they learn it a little bit faster. I don't know if any of your kids take piano, but I know mine have started at staggering different ages. But I notice there's no difference. Like when they start a little bit older, it's almost not as big of a deal as one may think because they'll speed through it much faster than if you started like in kindergarten or first. Because now, not all kids are that way. Some kids are going to be amazing with that talent, but just your average student. And same with, I think, from my experience, that they will catch up. Usually curriculum is reviewed, And you're like, no, but you can't do that. They'll be a whole grade behind. Not necessarily. Let's think about this. Nowadays, I feel like that would be called unschooling. To me, I don't know, is it a new term? I don't know if it's really a new thing or just a new term. I think parents have been doing it when the need arose, like I said, 10 to 12 years ago, and maybe that term was used then and I just didn't know it. But that's when I was thinking about that, some things that affected my life and how I think about schooling, and that was one of them. I remember reading that testimony, how hard that must have been, but I think what a joy that would have been. So take the break for however long you need or what you need it for. Praise the Lord, for us it's only been usually a week in the fall and a week in the spring. So, and we do not school year round. If you school year round, that is wonderful. It's just never worked for our family because of so many things that we have going on during the summer and my kids like to be involved in, mostly with our church and camps and stuff like that. And I want to mention another thing. Maybe there's like something you could let go, and maybe it's just you just want to get through the basics this time of year, just the reading, writing, arithmetic. And you're like, but then they won't be up to par, or they won't know everything that such and such knows. Well, we're back to the comparing. And that's not going to help you, and it's not going to help your kids, because your kids are your children. They're individuals, and they all learn at different levels, and really how someone else grasps something may not be the same way that someone else grasps something, and that works for us adults, I feel. Something that encouraged me on that end years ago. These are thoughts that I've heard in the past that still stick with me today, and that is when a mom said that, you cannot teach your kid everything in the 12 years of school, or even preschool if you want to add more years in. You're not going to be able to teach them everything, but you can teach them the love of learning. And if where you're at and you're losing motivation, you're losing the rhythm because it's not getting done, it could be a little frustration there could be a little discouragement, that you may just have to let it go and focus on the other things and read a book. I think that would be an encouragement to your children. And in the end, you, especially if it's a good book. As you can tell, I'm into Read Alouds. I really do feel like it is a bonding time with your children. But, so I just want to mention that as the end of the year motivation to get through, that maybe you might want to let one or two things go. Now, if they're teenagers and the requirements, maybe just spend some time on a certain subject more so with them than they normally would have you spend time with them, because they're doing this on their own. I know that helps my son and really all my boys. I try to do some time with them, so I wanted to mention that if you have teenagers. But really, truly, it comes down to you want them to be lifelong learners. So once they do graduate and you didn't get to teach them everything, that is okay, because they'll keep learning. They'll keep having a desire. They'll want to know how to do something, and you've taught them how to figure it out, how to teach themselves, whether it be through a book or research or just a hands-on exploring for themselves. And I've heard so many parents talk about that, and that has encouraged me to do the best I can. I need to pray, ask the Lord, please help me where I have failed to teach them, and that you would guide them. I think of myself, over a 40-year-old lady, and the Lord's still working on me. So I know that it's going to be a continuous process as they grow and mature into their 20s and 30s, that I just need to be there for them, praying and asking the Lord to continue to work in their lives and help them be faithful. I think of 3 John verse 4, where it says, I have no greater joy than to hear that my children walk in truth. And really thinking about your end goals towards the end of the school year, you're thinking, well, we didn't get this done and we didn't get that done. But have you taught your children the things of God? Have they learned some truth? Are they learning something each and every day? Even in their academics, Are they growing in those areas? Is their reading improving? Has their math improved? I'm thinking about my 4th grader. He's so funny, but he does a great job reading. He loves to study things, all battles and wars, and really can come back and tell me. He probably knows all the Pacific battles of World War II and could tell you who won and who was involved in what ships. But when it comes to math, it's a slow process. And that's okay, because I do see improvement each and every day. Like, we'll probably spend 2 weeks on this one, which should take a week, lesson. But that's okay, because for math, just review and review and review. And today he actually said to me, oh, if you understand this, it's a little bit easier. But it just takes patience and review. So just realizing that you just got to stick with it, and slowly. Sometimes things are slower than we want them to be. And that's okay, as long as they're making a step each day of improvement. So I just want to encourage you with those words of some motivation that might just help you push through the rest of this school year. I'm excited. I'm in a different stage this year. I have one graduating from high school and one graduating with his associates. I'm a little bit excited, trying to push through this school year. I do want to try to stay focused on the schoolwork, but and it has been a good year for us. I praise the Lord for that, because that's been helpful. But there have been years where I was wondering, are we going to make it through? But the Lord is faithful. You just need to keep your eyes on Him and pray, and let your kids hear you pray. Let them see the answers to prayer. And my 4th grader is actually memorizing the verse. I have it right here. Is Isaiah 40:31, where it says, but they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles. They shall run and not be weary, and they shall walk and not faint. He read this verse for the first time, and he was like, wow, Mom, that's a really neat verse. And I wanted to explain it to him, how wonderful it is that sometimes we do have to wait for the Lord, and we have to prepare, and we have to be ready. He will give us the strength and the courage and help us not to faint. So I hope this was encouraging, and I hope you all have a wonderful week, and I appreciate you all watching. Thank you so much.